What up? It is Wednesday, Hump Day Wednesday. Welcome to October 1st. Believe it or not, I think every first we should have it's like April Fool's Day. It should be like October Fool's Day. Try to pull some pranks today. But we've got baseball, the day 2 of the wild card. Some good games yesterday. I mean, 2 of the best pitching performances you're ever going to see. Derek Skubal, unbelievable. Crochet, unbelievable. 2 teams that were a lot of people didn't think had chances to win the series. Now, just a game away. We'll talk.
No Cubs bullpen, unbelievable. Well,
Hey, I said that was a must-win yesterday because Boyd's their ace, so they had to get that win. And I think they have a good chance. But we'll talk more MLB here in a second. Before, let's take care of business. The business at hand. Get in on a free $60 account to check out any of us here on the screen for free, or any of our other Doc Sports experts. All new customers use this link, docsports.com/free60. It's $30 per sport to get a top play. So you can get a top play. There's several top plays up today. I believe, I can't even remember. I looked at it and I still can't remember who has a top play up. Either you two have top plays today?
I do not. No, we dropped
Raphael, what do you have today?
Yesterday.
I got 5-unit baseball.
5-unit baseball. I think someone had a 7-unit maybe today. But if you go over to docsports.com and click the members area, right underneath there is a clear list of what we call BPAs. So that's big play alerts. So make sure you check that out. And no matter what we have per day, that's always on there. So make sure you get in on. All right. Also, don't forget about the YouTube Premium. We got 3 different levels. It is an extra way to get in on our extra content here, extra videos. It's $4.99 for Lenny's level 1, $19.99. You'll get Lenny and Indian Cowboys level 2, where you get tons of extra plays. And then level 3, you get all 3 levels. So you'll get one of my plays today and then 2 different experts every day on top of level 1 and 2. So you cannot beat it. Just a couple bucks a day. You get tons of extra video content, including Mondays and Thursdays. We almost go live every Monday, Thursday, either me, Lenny, or Indian Cowboy, and we give in-game halftime what we like in the second half. So it's just extra bonus stuff that you get there. All right, guys, let's talk. Most impressive yesterday, Raphael, was it Skubal going early and getting the Tigers a big win, or was it? I mean, the Cubs were. I mean, they were all good games. The only one that wasn't was my Reds. They got blown out. What did you think yesterday? Most impressive.
I mean, I really can piss off the audience and say the Indiana Fever, who almost win in overtime and they lose another starter, but that's another story, another day. I would probably have to say the Red Sox. I mean, you're in Yankee Stadium. Crochet throws 190 pitches. We don't see that in baseball that much. And then the only thing that bothered me about the Red Sox, they let Chapman throw 2 innings. So is he going to be out today? So let's say if it's a bullpen type of game, do you bring out Chapman again? I think the only thing that bothered me was bringing him in for 2 innings. That could hurt Boston today.
I mean, it was a must-win. I think they saw that's what they treated it as. They were like, listen, if we get game 1, we feel like we're going to win this series. And they put they pitched their 2 best pitchers for the entire game. They did not mess with anybody else in the bullpen. So it'll be interesting what happens today. Maybe it doesn't come down to that. Maybe Boston is either up big or down big, and maybe Chapman wouldn't have got used. But it will be interesting. These tight series where you're playing every day, it makes it exciting. Nick, your boys, Terry Skubal, unbelievable. That's the stuff of where he's never buying another beer anytime if Detroit ends up winning the series. What do you think?
That's your ace right there, and he's shown why he's the Detroit Tigers ace. Exactly what he needed to do. He came out, competed, and he did again to the Cleveland Guardians. I believe that was his 5th time versing the Cleveland Guardians this year. I think it goes to the Detroit Tigers. They finally got that monkey off their back in the concerns about beating this Cleveland Guardians team. Yeah, there was a runner on third base, no outs, but you got to tip your cap to the guy that was in there closing it down for the Tigers there. Obviously, Javi Baez with that error. In Torkelson, you got to block that up. This playoff baseball here, get your nose in front of that baseball, but that's for another day. You got to tip your hat to the Detroit Tigers. I think they continue this momentum here today, and they take this series from the Cleveland Guardians. You got to punch them in the mouth, and this is where I think they do it with Casey Mize on the mound.
So you like them today. People, Peter wanted to know about any lean here to this early game, Raphael?
No, I didn't think about this game. I think the Guardians should be penalized one run. How do you only get 25,000 into your stadium in a playoff baseball game? They didn't even sell it out. They should be already trailing 1-0 before the game starts.
Yeah, well, they have to be going, dude. What did we do to baseball where we had to play the early game both days?
Yeah.
Like, obviously it's hard for people to take off midweek work Tuesday, and then you have to come back and take off Wednesday as well.
Because sick days and PTO days are for.
They should have played early yesterday, and they should have let them play late today, in my opinion. And that way, it would have been a better atmosphere in Cleveland. It is a little colder this time of year in Ohio, so maybe they were thinking, hey, if it's a night game, maybe weather becomes an issue. But I do think Mize has a real chance to end this series. Like we've seen this year, he has had some of those amazing outings. Now he's also seen he's had a couple like scratch your head bad ones. So, but BB is not a guy that I'm like I would be worried about if I was Detroit. I mean, I think this is a true toss up, and the line suggests it, right? It's -120 for Cleveland, so basically almost a pick'em game here.
No, it's -130, -135. Cleveland money's been coming in for the past half hour.
Well, that's strong then. That's really moving then. Second game, your Cubs looked good yesterday. I was a little nervous early, but they pulled it out. I think they're probably going to lose today. I just think. But Cease is one of those guys.
Mute his mic.
Cease last year.
I'm with you, Ralph.
Like if it was Cease of last year, like first of all, they would be much bigger favorite. He was money last year. He's not been that guy this year. What is he, like a mid-4 ERA, right? Like I never thought I'd see the day. What do you think you see here? I mean, he has ace stuff, that's for sure. Do you think the Cubs can get to him today, Nick?
I got to be a homer here. I have to do it. It's another day game here in Wrigley, and we got a 1-0 lead on the series. And Dylan Cease, he's been a liability all season long, and I can see my Cubbies getting to him and Ralph's Cubbies here getting to him early on in this ball game. He's a head case. Griffin will say it too. He's a head case. He knows him from the Sox here, and I watched Dylan Cease a lot. And I think the Cubs will get to him today. I like the Cubs first 5, and obviously I'm a homer, so I have to go the Cubbies here full game.
I was kind of thinking under the strikeout prop for Cease because I just kind of think this is like, hey, they're probably telling him, get us through the third inning. You get us through the third inning, we can go bullpen if we need to. Or if he struggles early, they could even pull him out early. You can't – this is the season for them. They cannot let him, be thinking, hey, this guy's going to go 5 or 6. So I was thinking under strikeout prop. I think an under strikeout prop in that early game too. For BB. I just think it's the same thing for there. They have, the season's on the line. 3-4 innings is probably all you're getting. So I kind of like both of those strikeout props. Anything on your Cubs here, Raphael? Do you think there's any risk here of them losing this? It sounded like you were confident they were going to
lose. It's synergy between me and you right now because one of the prop bets that I was going to try to do a video, but I lost track of time because my phone's been ringing since 12:01. Wanted to know if I was going to do government shutdown prop bets. But the Padres Cubs under 17.5 strikeouts. They struck out, yes, I know, yet 19 times yesterday, both teams. Yes, the win was coming from the bats in the first inning. Both teams were striking left and right. But I think today, both managers said, hey, we're going to be patient. We're going to try to get walks. We're going to try to get steals. I don't think we're going to see a lot of strikeouts in this game, especially if the Padres go to the bullpen early. Their bullpen's not a strikeout bullpen. They're usually a ground ball, try to get double plays and stuff like that. So I like the under 17.5 props. Strikeouts is one of my prop bets. But the only thing that scares me, I thought the Cubs Twitter was just punking me yesterday when I saw Kittredge was going to be the starting pitcher. I'm like, what is it, April 1st? I'm like, I don't understand. And I know Imanaga struggles in the first inning. It's no secret. But pitchers are a freak of habits. If you're going to take off his habit to not bring him start and maybe bring him out of the bullpen and all that, what's his mentality? Now his routine is all messed up. Next game, I don't understand it. Yes, he struggled in the first inning, but that's regular season. This is playoff baseball now. What if he threw a gem in the first inning this week?
Hey, I've got breaking news. Breaking news, not in baseball, in the NFL. Flacco being benched by the Browns. Gabriel going to start for the Browns. Someone check on the line. What did the line do? Did it move at all?
Nothing. Didn't do nothing.
That's pretty big news. And also Daniels for the Commanders did clear and is available to play, which sounds like he will play this week. So that's two pretty big news. I'm shocked the Browns made it this far. First of all, I thought Flacco would be out with like a broken bone from like walking across the street or something by now. But does this do anything for you, Nick, on either one of these news?
No, not at all. I mean, Jaden Daniels, obviously, you want to see him back in there, and we'll see if he does get a couple reps here this weekend. But, when guys get benched and new guys come abroad here, I like to sit back and kind of analyze the game and how they play right away before I then, toss a premium or a heavy wager on them.
Yeah, I don't know. Obviously, if Flacco's was the best in training camp, that probably doesn't bode well for your rookies because this guy hasn't been great for what, 5 years, 6 years. So it's not a big news. I kind of expected Mariota was going to go this week, but maybe Daniels gives it a go. McLaren, I don't. Is he out this week? I know he was out last week. I don't know if he's back this week.
I haven't heard, but they're saying Daniels is not going to start. That's why the number has stayed the same. The number has stayed the same in Cleveland, but the rotation hasn't changed either. Flacco's the backup quarterback, and Sanders still third string out there. So I think that's the one that's probably going to be very puzzling. So if Gabriel gets hurt or anything, then we're getting to see Flacco again. So it should be very interesting. And keep an eye out. I'm hearing a lot of buzz today. Alvin Kamara to the Kansas City Chiefs could be really, really close to happening.
Really?
Interesting.
I mean, I guess if you're the Saints, what are you keeping him for? It's like.
I know they want 3 picks, like either third, fourth, or fifth rounds for him. Now, is he worth 3? I could see 2, maybe 1/3 and 1/4. But if they're asking for 3, I don't think this happens. But
you have his production has slid, and he's been injury prone the last few years. Is that the team, or is it the natural that we see 5-6 years in running backs just have a dip? And so we'll see if he goes to a really good team like the Chiefs. I thought Kareem Hunt's been a good backup since they picked him up last year. So I was kind of surprised that they'd be even interested in that because giving up picks I don't care if they're third, fourth, or fifth round is always something. So, but I do think the Tigers maybe have 2 on, no outs, 2 on in the first inning, just to keep you guys updated in that one. Cuba will be who's going to change? Jamar Chase will be QB for the Bengals this week.
that's funny.
Listen, before the season, this was going to be me and Lenny's grudge match week. Obviously, he's a big Detroit Lions fan. That's just a tough spot for me now because if the Bengals get to double digits, I'm going to be happy after the last 2 weeks terrible addings on offense. Detroit, I think, could play their B team and beat us, and we are playing our B team. Let's be very clear. This was our A team, minus Burrow, but we're playing really bad. So, Detroit Lenny's going to win. So. All right. I want to talk the NFL for tomorrow, boys. I think it's a pretty good matchup tomorrow.
Tomorrow's Thursday. She said tomorrow. Sorry, you threw me a curve.
Yeah, 49ers and the Rams here. Like, the Rams are a solid 7-point favorite. I thought this line would be 3.5 to 4.5, Raphael, but I think because Purdy injury. But Mac Jones was not bad. There wasn't a whole lot of drop-off when he did already start this year. Are you kind of surprised this number went all the way to the key number of 7?
Yeah, 3.5 was a number thinking when Purdy, we all thought he was going to play, and then it went to 7. So I was a little bit shocked. I thought it would be kind of reversed because Purdy did not look good at all. You could tell he was maybe 70% when he was out there. So, yeah, I thought Jones was playing better each game he was in there. So I'm a little bit shocked on 5 to 6 points on these 2 quarterbacks that we're talking about that made the number move. So I think that just tells you how far San Francisco has fallen, not just the quarterbacks, but their offense in general.
I mean, they're both 3-1 on the year. Now, the Rams, if they don't get that field goal block, they'd be 4-0 most likely. Then I think the perception is a little truer with that 7 number. But they're 3-1. And you will say this: the 49ers could have lost the Seahawks. They could have lost the Cardinals. Those were 2, games that were right there in the balance one way or the other. So, like, the way you look at it is, maybe the 49ers are lucky to be 3-1, and kind of the Rams are kind of unlucky to not be 4-0. Nick, is there any action that you see maybe from you as a maybe premium level, or even any interest as even a smaller play in this Thursday Night Football?
Yeah, this side does look a little tricky to me, and it's sharp, so I would stay away from it. I do lean the 49ers in this game. Just a quick turnaround, obviously, from last week's Rams win against Indianapolis, but the over-under is a little more intriguing to me. It's 46.5 points, and I do believe, even though with Brock Purdy out, we see some offense here. Obviously, the Rams could score the ball. But can the San Francisco 49ers keep up pace with these Rams? And I do believe even with Mac Jones, they do find the end zone tomorrow, I should say. So I like that over 46.5 here. I think we will see points in this primetime Thursday night game that typically goes under. I like the over here this week.
I always go down, offense versus offense or defense versus offense, kind of breaking it down each way. Who has the better offense? I think the Rams have a better offense. Defense, who has the better defense? I think the Rams clearly have the better defense. I really think this Rams defense is pretty good. And then special teams, I think it's it could be a toss-up but I mean, if the other two are favored, to me, I do think the Rams win. I just the number is always that confuses me, because when I think a number should be 4.5 to maybe 5.5, and then the number 7, that just messes with my head. That's something I usually don't. I don't usually get involved in. Raphael, what's your opinion as a handicapper / odds maker, since you were both in your history? Like when you see something that is probably too big, is that something that you just trust your eyes and you bet the underdog?
Normally, if it's too big, am I going to just watch it for live betting and try to make some profit on that way, or go with the dog side? Now, if you're looking for the overplay, I would say wait. We can maybe see a 46, because Nick said it brilliantly. Thursday night games have been going under. But if you're looking at that case, you don't want to lay the 46, then lay the 49ers at 19.5 total touchdowns in the game, 19.5 over under. Play the 4. If the game's going to go over, San Francisco needs to score 20 plus points. If its game's going to go over, I don't see a blowout. I don't see the Rams winning by double digits in this game. I do believe it's probably going to be a 7-point or less type of game. So I would look at that instead of maybe laying the 46 if you think it's going to be really tight.
If the Rams win this game, you look at their kind of next few games, I mean, they could take a pretty commanding lead in this division. I liked them before the season as my favorite to win this division. I thought this division was going to be really good. I don't think we've really disappointed so far. The Seahawks have been better than I even thought was going to be. I think Arizona's been Arizona. If they don't kick that stupid, the new kickoff rule is done. It was not new as far as it's been this kickoff for a second year. But if it lands this much before the 20, you get the ball at the 40. That's the dumbest rule in football. Just kick it down there and they get it at the
overtime.
Or whatever.
Dumbest rule in football. The overtime rule is we shouldn't have ties in the NFL.
Yeah, I agree. It's stupid.
College rules.
I was going to say, do the college rule then. Just start at the 20 and then go for 2.
I don't know why they haven't adjusted to the college rule, because it is definitely exciting when the college goes to overtime. And the argument was that we have the limited time is that guys get injured. The longer the game, the more likely it doesn't injuries.
You can get injured in the first minute.
But that's what I'm saying. If you playing on the 25s and 30s, you're not playing a ton more plays because it's reduced field.
True.
I don't love that whole after so many overtimes they just go for 2 every time in college now. I used to like when it would just kept going back and forth. I do like that you force them to go for 2, because that kind of throws it's less likely though if they do score a touchdown. But I do like the college rules a lot. I do think the NFL, now that both teams can get the ball, even if they score a touchdown, I do think that's better. It's just with that short amount of time, basically you're only going to get one possession each. So there's going to be a likelihood of a lot more ties, I think, going forward in the NFL, which maybe they like Raphael and Nick, because give me your take on this. There's a lot. The ties come playoff time matter.
Oh, yeah.
It's like now you don't go to what's your division record? Now it's going to be like, well, you had one less win, but you had to tie. So that team ends up going to the playoffs. So I do think, Raphael, this could maybe make the playoffs, in the year, who's going to go, who's not. I think a little more interesting. What do you think?
Yeah, week 16, week 17, yeah, it's going to be interesting. But right now on week 5, October 1st, this overtime rule sucks. I want a W. Everyone makes fun of soccer. I love to watch soccer and all that. Oh, we have ties. Well, we have a tie in football, so take that.
I thought I had the Packers last week -6.5, and I'm like, fuck, it goes overtime. I thought I can't win. And then I was like, oh shit, I forgot the overtime rule. If they would have won the toss, they could have went down and would have had to kick the extra point because the other team's going to get the ball. Then they stop them. I would have actually won. So I was like, damn, I needed them to take the ball, and they declined and took the.
I was right with you. I had the Packers too, and I'm thinking this game's over. I can't believe I'm not going to win. And then overtime, I'm doing math in my head. Oh, I think we can cover. And then
Yeah, we've
as
seen
a
it
as
with
a
baseball, though. I mean, look at it, the extra inning rule. Guy goes on second, speeds it
oh,
up,
God, I hate that.
and most likely the other team either scores if they don't score that runner from second. So I think just the NFL will make the adjustments. It's only a matter of time. We can't be ending in ties here. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, at least let's have a kickoff or something. Like let's do something so that this doesn't end up. I think the best. I hate soccer, by the way. Just or you want to call it football if you're. I really don't like it. And I played select soccer growing up, so it's not like I didn't play it. I think it's terrible on TV. And as a better, to be honest. But penalty kicks is one of the greatest. Penalty shots is one of the greatest way to end a soccer game. Just like penalty shots in hockey, like I think like that's freaking electric. Now,
Then
obviously,
we should do
playoffs,
field goals, 50-yard field goals. Let the kickers decide the game.
No,
Do
imagine
50
if they
and
do, like-
5 yards back every time they make it.
it's like the
That's
like
good
the
one.
high jump rules where they just keep increasing it, 3-4 inches each time. It'd be like, the Cowboys might be the way they win games because they have the best
Yeah,
long
that's
range
true.
kicker in the game, and guys now hitting 65, 68, 70 yarders. Like we're going to see it this year, probably that we're going to see somebody try a 70-yarder at the end of a half or end of a game to win a game. So it's going to be guys kicking the ball now that they're letting them condition the balls in.
Yeah.
That's people were like, why is it? They've been able to kick it this long, but they were using the K balls that you don't get to break in. Now they're actually able to break the balls in, so they're going to obviously travel farther. So interesting stat. College football. I don't love the Thursday game, Sam Houston game. I don't love that one. But Friday, we got some good games, boys. Like I thought last week was some pretty solid games. All 3 games were pretty competitive. This week, Western Kentucky, Delaware. I think that Delaware is pretty good. I mean, obviously they're favorite. Charlotte, USF, not so good. New Mexico, San Jose State, very competitive matchup. And then West Virginia, BYU, and San Diego State and Colorado State. I think all these, as far as the points, when you're betting the points, I think all can be interesting. I mean, West Virginia, they beat Pitt, 3 weeks ago? Since then, whoa, they've been bad, but can they show us something? So any of these games, Nick, why don't you start? Any of these games, kind of catch your eye?
Yeah, the Colorado State, the late game, the Colorado State and San Diego State here. You look at both of these offenses the past week, and even Colorado State the past 2 weeks only scored a combined 19 points total in just 2 games. San Diego State, on the other hand, they went on the road and they picked up a win against Northern Illinois, I believe, 6-3 in that game. They only scored 6 points and came away with that win. And let's not forget,
covered too, right? They were 2.5 line.
The Colorado State, let's not forget, their first week 1 or week 0 was they played at Washington. They put up 21 points on that Washington defense. And we just seen Washington compete against Ohio State and how physical they were on the defensive side. This over-under sitting at 41.5 here. I know San Diego State has a great defense, but Colorado State, you got to find your offense here, especially in conference play. I think this total goes over. It's sitting at 41.5. I think it's too low. And I think we see an offensive game here on a national televised game. I think they're going to show out, and both offenses here will compete and score points. So I like this over 41.5. They're due to explode on the offensive side for Colorado State here. I know that defense for San Diego State is good, but I think they will get to them in this game.
Well, the interesting thing on that game, they've allowed 3 points in 2 weeks, San Diego State. That they beat the dog crud out of Cal. Cal's been pretty freaking they won last week, right? Then they beat Wake Forest. Who did they beat? They went east last week and won.
No, Wake Forest was Georgia Tech.
Yeah, Wake Forest was Georgia Tech.
NC State. Who did they play? They won, right? They definitely covered. Let me see. I have it right here in front of me. But that was an impressive win at Cal. I mean, Cal, I think, is a sneaky team this year. And let's see, Cal beat UNC.
No, they beat Boston College last week.
Boston College. Sorry. What am I looking for? This is the upcoming games. They won 28-24 at Boston College. They beat Minnesota as well. So this is a good San Diego State team. So this would be a quality win if Colorado State could pull that upset. Raphael, when you look at this New Mexico San Jose State team, San Jose State lost opening week to, was it Central Michigan?
Yes.
I believe. The Central Michigan team, I think, is sneaky good in the MAC this year. But I think San Jose State is a pretty quality team. A lot of people thought that they would be better because last year they were so good. They lost by 1 to Stanford, right? But they did cover in that game last week. Is this a San Jose State team that's maybe being overlooked a little bit because of that opening loss?
I think so. I made this number 3, and so the odds makers posted 2.5, and this has not moved. It's been steady at 2.5 since day. So if I made it 3, that there's a little bit value on that one. Maybe take a shot at the money line. If the money line is anywhere lower than maybe minus 150 or less, but I think there's good value because if San Jose could run the ball, New Mexico State ran the ball all over New Mexico last week. So if San Jose State can establish the run early, then I think they control the clock, control the tempo at home. I think get a W. I think they can win by 6 points.
Yeah, New Mexico looked good they look decent against Michigan. They look really good against their rival. New Mexico State had a little slow start and really came on. New Mexico, what was it, just like 3 or 4 years ago, both New Mexico and New Mexico State were like basically the worst teams in college football. So both are a lot more competitive this year. So I think this is going to be a good game. The games I like to bet the most are games that I can make arguments on both teams. You know what I mean? Because it's like that makes the line, I think, pretty fair. And then you just have to dig into the numbers. So somebody asked about why do I think Cincinnati? They must have watched me and Indian Cowboy, we do all the games. And I do think Cincinnati's like whenever time you think the ranked team, which Iowa State's been great this year, is an underdog on the road, that's what you call a live underdog. Like you just in those spots, I almost always go with the home team that's less ranked or not ranked at all, and that would be the case for Cincinnati. So I do think Cincinnati.
But Cincinnati's favorite now. Iowa State opened up as a 2-point favorite,
saying.
And now it's a 1.5 out there. So
I think that's respect for Cincinnati. Cincinnati had Nebraska. Remember, they had the ball to tie the game late. If they tie that game and say lose in overtime in a really close game, then I think people maybe but Cincinnati's just haven't really played anybody till last week. That was a very good win. I think Kansas is going to go on the road and roll this week. And I think Daniels and company, he's played for 22 years at Kansas at quarterback. I mean, I think this is literally his 6th or 7th year, right? I think they're really good. And that was it's not like Cincinnati went in there and just shut them down. They just outscored them. They went in there and just outscored them. And that was a very, very good win. I hate, what's the guy's name at Cincinnati now? Satterfield. I can't stand Satterfield as a coach. I'm hoping that Luke Fickell gets fired and we bring him back to Cincinnati.
Wow.
That's what I'm. But I don't think so. If he continues to win, Satterfield's going to be at Cincinnati. So,
yeah.
All right. Let's get an update on this Tigers game. It's 1-0 Guardians.
It's home run Cleveland
in the bottom of the first. So those 2 errors to start 1 error and a hit, I think it was, to get 2 guys on. They don't score any in the first. So, all right, let's wrap this up so we can go watch some baseball. I want to say thank you to everybody. If you haven't tuned in, we are here every day at 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. On Saturday, both Lenny and Griffin do a really good job. It's basically it's Docs Daily at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, but it's more just question and answers. You guys ask questions. Those guys will answer as long as it's not one of Griffin's premium picks. So make sure you tune in then. And check out our best plays. Go over to docsports.com under the BPAs, the big play alerts. Check out what we have. And I think I got a promo code. It's OCT wins. So OCTWINS 10 get you 10% off. So go over there and use that if you want to get on top play for today. All right, guys. Good luck. Thanks again for joining in. We'll see you again tomorrow on Thursday.